tasty cocktail and tasty conversation. Be sure to reach out to the boys on Twitter at the Recipe Boys, boys being spelled B-O-Y-Z, and check this episode's description for more information. Now pour yourself a drink, and cheers to you for listening.
Everyone, welcome back to the Recipe Podcast, where we start off with a tasty cocktail and lead into a tasty conversation. That's our slogan. We're sticking to it. I'm one of your hosts, Max.
I'm one of your hosts, Taylor.
Taylor, yeah.
I'm one of their hosts.
Yeah.
Lex.
I feel like we have to constantly introduce ourselves, you know? It's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's proper.
Who are you? What do you
I was
do?
going to say, I forget what you guys' names are, so it's pretty important to do this.
Every time.
Yeah. Did you guys see any movies this week?
No, but I'm going to see one this week.
Oh, okay. The Tarantino movie.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to see the Quentin Tarantino movie, the Hollywood one. Really excited about it.
Sick invite, man.
He's been trying to get us to go to this thing forever, and we're just like,
look, we're like, we're gonna go see it together.
We're so busy. It's so hard.
I got tired of waiting.
I got things.
Has anyone seen anything that they've seen before?
I watched Me, Myself, and Irene a few days ago.
Oh, it's a classic.
Oh, it was so good. Those
So
jokes
good.
still land. I was still laughing. And what's crazy, my girlfriend pointed out a detail in the thing that I didn't ever catch. You know how his 3 adopted children were really smart? Mm-hmm. Well, their father was a biomedical scientist guy at some huge university.
Yeah.
Because I'm just driving this car for research. And
Wait, I thought he was their father.
He is their father.
But like my girlfriend pointed that out in the movie at the same, and I was like, holy shit. I never even caught that this is why his kids were so smart, because their parents were super smart.
Wait,
Right.
we now know Max is a passive film watcher.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it. I'm just being honest.
It's great to see that an old Jim Carrey movie from 90s?
No, it's the early 2000s, yeah,
early
right.
2000s. Yeah, can keep on giving after all this time.
Well, it's like Jim Carrey, those movies still give, but like if you watch a Adam Sandler movie from back then, it's like, I don't know, man.
No, man.
What?
Up until Little Nicky, he was unbeatable.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah, Little Nicky was a thorn.
I watched Billy
inside.
Madison and it just doesn't do it.
Absolutely
Wow.
wrong. You are so wrong.
I'm sorry. I was kind of cringing the whole time.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Billy boy.
But I was when a kid though, like the scene where she's like stripping off as he gets the right answers.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Who would eat 30 bag of lunches? I'll tell you who did it. That damn Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Like that's real comedy.
That's gold. It's gold.
Actually, you know, I said that all the time. Max, remember when you talked to Orlando Jones on the phone?
Yes.
You remember that? I love that story. I tell that story to everybody.
I don't know that story.
Yes.
So basically, one of my good buddies was on a film set with him, and it was staying in his condo in Louisiana. They were doing some shoot. I don't know. Anyways, I just happened to call my friend because we're good buddies from college, and I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, you don't believe this, but I'm actually in Orlando Jones's condo right now. Here he is. What do you have to say?" And I was like, "Man, I loved your movie Evolution." And he's like, "That was real comedy right there." I was like, "Oh my God."
It's
I
true.
freaked out. Yeah, it was awesome.
And you know what's funny is that we didn't realize it, but at the time, a lot of movies were making that swing to like the ad lib, like the knocked up 40 version, where it's just basically, you know, the best comics in the game just saying the funniest things they can for 10 minutes, and the editor putting it together. And like Evolution had a script, it was funny. David Duchovny was funny. Shonen Scott was funny. Like, it's Ivan Reitman. He made Ghostbusters. Like, if he says that's real comedy, like that's because that was true comedy.
So I gotta point out, is it Duchovny or Duchovny? Because I've always said Duchovny.
Honestly, don't know. I'm gonna defer to you because I never watched X-Files.
I always thought it was Duchovny.
I mean, I watched the special features that's behind the scenes. I thought it was Duchovny, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I didn't actually know his name. I just knew he was from X-Files.
Oh.
But I will say I've rewatched Evolution. I watch it at least once a year.
Dude, it's so good. I got
Yeah.
the Kane Madness.
Yeah.
Sweet. But everyone,
Sweet. Cool, I don't care.
welcome. No, it's like my affirmation suite. It's like a customary hello in the South where you just wave at people you don't know. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us back. But today we actually have a special drink prepared by Taylor, because Taylor is hosting our little shindig today.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh yeah, we're back at this the second time.
Second time.
Right. Unreal.
So, tax is about to go up. We're in Manhattan so often.
Yeah. So the drink today is the controversial Aperol Spritz. And the reason why I picked this one is one, we had delicious Italian ragu for dinner, but also because it's one that I think is ripe for rebooting, and I think that's a theme of the episode today. We're going to talk about some reboots later on, but cheers, guys.
Cheers. I've been like wanting to grab this drink the whole time. I had to misgrab it.
Wow. Wow.
That's tasty.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
You like it?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, wow.
Now, just so you guys know, before this, he was terrified, or not terrified, but very apprehensive, felt that he was going to hate this drink.
I hate most digestives. I hate Aperol. I hate Amaro. I hate all of it. I really hate anything that has that really bitter medicinal flavor to it. The dinner was delicious, the ragu and everything, so I was like, oh, let me give it a try. This is really succulent.
It's very refreshing.
How did you do it?
How did
I've
I
had
do
so many Aperol Spritzes
Walk
in my
us
day.
through preparation.
Tell us the recipe.
Honestly, it's such an easy one, and I don't know.
Wait,
Everyone's telling me.
Recipe.
So for this episode,
Down, Dino.
For this episode, I made and actually had my first ever Aperol Spritz. This is the first one I ever had was yesterday, and I made it as the recipe requires, which is 3 measures of sparkling white wine. We use Prosecco, 2 of Aperol, and 1 of club soda with a wedge of orange, and everyone was saying like, oh my God, this is better than most Aperol Spritz I've had. I can only imagine that when you get it at a place, at a restaurant, they just suck.
I think they do less wine.
Maybe that's what it is. Because it's supposed to be mostly wine.
On the second
3
gulp,
to-
I'm
3 to
realizing
2.
most of the time it's like club soda and Aperol.
Yeah, that's why I think people don't like it.
And I want to bite a bullet.
Yeah,
I really do.
right.
This is delicious. You had a delicious dinner. I'm going to plug it.
Go ahead.
Taylor was a great host. I thought after the first time he hosted, he would be like, all right, let's skip my week, next 3 weeks. And not only did you choose to put yourself forward, but you made this absolutely delicious dinner.
Well, I guess I can say my girlfriend made it. I mean, I was involved. But
you could have taken all the credit.
I know.
She doesn't listen.
She
She'd never know.
listens to the beginning. This is when she could tell.
I mean, what are we at? Like, we're deep enough. If she hears it, you know, it's like you're in trouble. You're like, you listened.
Yeah.
Get that angry text message. You motherfucker.
I love you for listening.
Yeah.
Glad you're a fan. Here's a selfie.
Our first 1-star rating is going to be like, this motherfucker lied about making this dinner.
Just sign an autograph for her. She'll be great.
Oh, no. Yeah. So I got to imagine like ordering this drink at like a really nice pool. Like
Yeah.
a pool bar.
Right.
And, like laying out and there's some palm trees somewhere.
Unlike the Italian coast or something like
when
that.
you're tired of pina coladas and mojitos, this is a great little. It's not too sweet.
Yeah, and actually, that's part of the reason why it's a bit controversial. Is that there was a New York Times article, which basically the title of the article is. I've got it right here. The title of the article is "The Aperol Spritz is not a good drink." You really can't get more on the nose than that.
The failing New York Times.
Like New York Times,
Are they just
ragging
constantly
on.
failing?
No, Trump just tweets that all the time.
Ah, got it.
Yeah, I own some of their stock, and they're not doing so hot. But that's,
I mean, the whole market's down. China's
yeah,
fucking us.
it's bonds and stuff, you know.
Recession.
Recession.
Lowercase r.
Yeah, inverted yield curve, you know, the whole thing. So the byline is the second headline. It's a byline.
You're half right. I don't know. It's real comedy.
Anyway,
Do I look like I read news?
yeah. The Aperol Spritz is not a good drink. The popular Instagram-friendly aperitif drinks like a Capri Sun after soccer practice on a hot day, not in a good way. And I gotta say, I disagree. You know
What
why?
does that mean? Capri Sun's on soccer
Yeah,
practice.
number one, who hates Capri Suns?
And also, Capri Sun was literally marketed and invented for soccer practice.
Yeah.
If your mom made Capri Sun, 1, she was hot, and 2, she was the best mom.
She didn't make Capri Sun. She provided it.
Did you ever stab yourself with a straw as a kid?
Gesundheit. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like-
yeah. Remember
No.
the commercials where they had it so that like the dad didn't know how to use a Capri Sun thing?
My
It was
mom
like
did-
somehow kids can only. were the
My
ones
mom
who
didn't
use
let
it.
me have Capri Sun when I was a kid, unless I was at family parties where other adults gave it to me.
Ah,
Because she didn't know what was in them, and she didn't like any drink where I couldn't see the color of it. And to be honest, now that I think about it, that's really fucking smart.
Yeah.
People put really fucking weird shit.
Have
in
you
kids'
seen
drinks.
the color of a Monster? It's
Yeah,
not,
but like
it's not green.
Yeah, but also like Sunny Delight is not good for you, and it's like
Oh man, it's something to do though.
yeah, but I mean they're gone.
Are they gone?
I think so. But either
We
way,
should make a Sunny D cocktail if it still exists somewhere.
no, thank you. Just put the vitamin C
Just
tablet.
like college.
Put the
Right.
vitamin C tablet right in the gin, and that's Sunny Delight.
Yeah. So, as I was going to say, back to the Aperol Spritz. You know, I think the Capri Sun comparison's not too off. It's citrusy. It's got a lot of that orangey flavor from the Aperol, and obviously you stick a wedge of orange in it. But it is very refreshing. It's a low alcohol drink, so we're going to pound these and see if that's actually true.
We had a delicious red wine with dinner.
Yeah, I'm
It was
glad you
really,
liked it.
Really great. Really, like everything was mint.
Whole Foods wines. You get 10% off. You buy 6 bottles.
Yeah, we're from Brooklyn. I don't know what that is.
Whole Foods? You got Whole Foods in Brooklyn? No, that can't be true.
I got a superfood town or
you're in that
place
part
in
of
the
Brooklyn.
corner.
I was going to say, like
I'm next
Oh,
to
what
the.
are you trying to say? That part.
Yeah,
We got to cut that out.
No, I don't.
No, we're gonna keep that in. We can hear his judgmental
Oh,
voice.
that part of Brooklyn.
Yeah, you wanna rub your skin there too, pal?
Yeah.
Okay, we do have an ideal foods near our apartment, and
Ideal foods.
only when I have a car from rental.
Most of foods.
We do drive to Whole Foods. Sometimes.
There's a food space and a corner deli.
What was the old place called we had, Lex? One of our old grocery stores. The small one, right down the place from the apartment.
Yeah,
It
wait
was
one
the
second. I got it.
Fine Fare.
Fine fare. Fine fare. Yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
tell us about the Aperol Spritz.
The Aperol Spritz is a spritz type drink, which gets its name from German, actually, for spritzen, because northern Italy used to be part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And obviously, when you're part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, you get a lot of Austrians in there. And they were asking for their digestive wines with a spritzen, which is a spritz of soda water.
I mean, I'm looking for a spritzing right now.
Oh, you're cruising for a
Spritzen.
Sprutzen.
Sprutzen.
So the kind of extended version why Aperol Spritz is something that you hear about in the news is that Aperol, I think like a year or two ago, did this huge campaign trying to get the Aperol Spritz to be a big drink. It is intensely Instagrammable because it is got a great orange hue
Yeah, it looks
to
pretty.
It's
it.
really pretty.
It's a
Like
gorgeous
this goblet
looking
is
drink.
delicious.
Yeah. And I'd put it in the cool wine glasses because I thought that really
Yeah,
sold it.
you got really good glassware.
Thank you. Stemware. Yeah. So I wanted to give it a shot, but I also wanted to try new rebooted versions, which we'll jump into later.
My last note on Aperol and Amaro and Campari, because I believe Campari's in here, right?
I just bought Campari
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah. Throw it away. Literally, if you want to just pour it in the toilet and then pee in the toilet and then flush it.
Lex
do
and
that.
I have very different opinions on Campari.
Yeah.
I love Campari.
Yeah.
Campari was expensive too.
Yeah,
It's
or-
like a liqueur or whatever.
You don't use much of it usually.
It's not really a problem that I'm gonna have ever. Like literally, whenever I love tiki drinks. If I see a tiki drink that has Campari,
Dude.
like at Blacktail, their rum and coke, one of my favorite drinks ever, has Fernet Blanc in it. That's one of the only drinks I don't order there because I think it's disgusting. So the one thing I'm gonna say is that I used to date a girl who worked for a PR agency that only specialized in alcohol and liquor, and all she ever did was go to like wine tastings and beer tastings and liquor tastings and open bars and stuff and bar openings. And it was a really interesting life. She told me a lot of things, and she had one quote that I'll never forget. She used to say, "Stop making Aperol happen. It's not going to happen."
And yet it did, and now it's a big drink.
Yeah.
It's a controversial drink, but
Now I
it's still
feel
out
differently
there.
about it, but I kind of hate drinks with Aperol in it because I feel like it's kind of like pissing in your cereal. But this drink proves me wrong, and
Yeah.
I'm glad. I love when I'm wrong.
I don't know. Beer girls would like this drink apparently.
Yeah, apparently you guys hate it because you're really...
No,
I never said I hate this.
No, I
mine's
know.
I
almost
said
gone.
like I have a bottle of. I need to get a bottle of Aperol. I
For-
love liquors. Anyways,
For those on the room, Max is like nearly like he's 1 or 2 gulps away from done. I'm 4 or 5 gulps away from done.
No, the only
and
gulp
Taylor's
left-
like 8 gulps away from done.
the only gulp left is ice and some orange. There's
Yeah.
just liquid.
So Max had an idea about where he'd like to drink this drink. I was thinking, what are some movie bars or just bars in fiction that we'd all want to go to?
That's a really interesting idea.
Yeah, that's why I had it.
It's a really good idea.
That's where they all start.
So did you have anything in mind?
The first one obviously is a Star Wars cantina, and because I'm not a droid, I'd be allowed to go in. And
You're not?
I'm not. Well, you know,
Is the Star Wars Cantina the one where Han Solo shot first?
it is the one where he definitely shot first, not like in the terrible remake.
Did
Well, it's a
did
terrible
we
remake.
upset people just now?
It's a hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah. Oh, come on, what's the line?
It's the Mos Eisley Cantina.
The Mos Eisley Cantina, yeah. Which I think would be cool. You know why? Because I want some of that blue bantha milk. Because I feel like that might be kind of good.
Great live music
Yeah. You got the band.
and people chewing ice.
Would they have the... Shut up. Have you heard chewed ice in these things? No, you haven't. Thank you.
Can we keep this?
Yeah, sure. I don't care. I'll keep whatever. I'll keep certain things I'm supposed to cut out.
And we all know which one he's talking about.
No, like, would the blue milk be in this bar, or was that just Luke drinking it on that island?
I think
No,
Han,
no, no, well-
Han and Greedo had blue drinks in front of them.
So in the beginning of A New Hope, when he's on the farm with Uncle Ben, the bantha milk is blue. He's pouring a glass of blue milk for him in the beginning of the of that scene. And I imagine that, you know, since it's local to Tatooine, that they'd probably have some blue milk cocktail.
Remind me about blue milk when I go into my tangent. You'll know.
I can't wait. Yeah.
You'll know. You'll know.
Speaking of milk, isn't it like I don't know why you maybe think there's the bar in Clockwork Orange, the milk bar
Yeah, with the adrenochrome.
where the crazies go.
Yeah, I never
it's
want to
so
go there.
cool.
I'm gonna say flat out, I never want to go there. That's not a bar from fiction that I want to go to.
I don't want to be in that fiction. That's why. With
What
the
are-
ultra violence and
But
violence. and
wait,
stuff.
what are some bars from fictional places you want to go to? That's our topic, right? Do you or Max have any?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to steal yours because I know that you really like the one, but the one from Indiana Jones is always really high on my list.
The one that they're doing the shot for shot?
Yes, that's such a great scene.
That is a great scene.
I honestly think that scene led to me being a drinker as an adult. I was just like, I need to be able to handle myself in a Tibetan bar. Is it Tibet or Nepal?
I have to outdrink every woman I know. But wait, but what would you order there? Because it seemed like a very nondescript bar.
You just kind of you don't really order a drink. You just give me some whiskey or give me some. You know, it's like that. You don't, dude. We don't make cocktails.
Yeah.
What do you want?
What do you want? You want 2 shots of this plus wipe this guy's cheek and squeeze the napkin in front of the drink? Like, it looks pretty divey.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but I'd
What do you
probably
pay
drink
with
it.
there? You pay with your life.
You
there.
pay with gasoline and matches.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I will be honest. In that scene, I don't think they were actually drinking in that scene.
No, you don't think
I mean,
that
knowing
was-
how many cuts Steven Spielberg takes, I don't think they were.
Maybe that guy was actually passing out because they gave him real alcohol.
What about you,
I
man?
mean, honestly, I'm not sure if that was even a guy across from her.
I don't know what. Honestly, I'm not sure.
No, it's definitely a guy. I watch
think
that all the
so?
time. That's also one of they have a whole documentary on YouTube on like Spielberg doing like a lot of oneers, which is basically long one takes, and that's one of his most famous one takes because there are no cuts in the back and forth. It's like 8 or 9 medium close-ups of different people that he goes 1 2 1 2 1 2 and never cuts.
So one of the bars that I like, well, there's a couple of them actually, is some of the bars from the James Bond movies, specifically the ones with Daniel Craig. So you got the bar from the first one, because I like double.
Which one was that?
The Casino Royale, where they're playing poker,
Yeah.
and he gets poisoned, from the bar.
Oh, yeah.
That's you want to get poisoned.
No, but that bar did seem sick.
lived.
I mean,
He lived.
I mean, I would like to gamble there. I hope I make enough money that I can gamble.
But
there.
I'm more impressed with like the waiter who remembers his order.
Yeah.
Like
What was
holy
his
shit.
order?
The Vesper. That was he invented that on the spot. Is actually in the Ian Fleming book. He invented the Vesper, which is one of my favorite martini
And
cocktails.
it's a gin based drink, right?
So
Gin
it's
and
gin
vodka.
and vodka.
And
yeah, right.
apparently the gin he chose is super cheap.
It's Gordon's gin, which is pretty cheap. I have a whole bottle. You can get it like a 40 ounce, 46 ounce. If I'm saying that right, 46 ounce. I don't know. Math sucks.
Yeah.
For like $16. It's really cheap to get Gordon's,
but, you
but
know-
I like Gordon's a lot.
Yeah.
John Wick's bar in the hotel.
What, the Continental?
So cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
but
so cool.
That's a memorable bar. I have a couple bars I can name, like off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm into going to bars that I feel like I'd go to in my real life. because I like really upscale cocktail bars, but I also love me a good dive bar. And the bar from Shameless, the TV show, I don't know if that counts, but it's on Stars, so it's kind of a little bit upper class. It's a dive bar. The Alibi. It's called the Alibi Room because everyone who's there is a delinquent, and that's their alibi. Is I wasn't there. I was at the Alibi, and I fucking love that place. You know, they got like Russian whores bartending, making the cheapest, dirtiest drinks you can make, and just delinquents like construction workers and fucking reprobates just hanging out there.
Sounds like Milano's.
Yeah, it is like Milano's. You want to plug Milano's? Do it.
I do. I don't want people to know about it.
No, but just give us a gist of what Milano's is. Don't tell us where it is.
I mean, they can
Until you
Google
type
it.
in Milano.
Yeah, exactly. Until they Google Milano's.
Yeah, but if you don't live in New York, you can't go.
Yeah.
If you live in Turkey, like our listeners do, you can't
Right.
go.
It's just a classic kind of dive bar in the city. It's like over 100 years old, which I did not know about until very recently. But
Doesn't look like it.
There's a little hole in the wall. Like there's
Doesn't
just
look like it.
Can we go there
It
next
could
week?
be 200 years old.
I don't drink enough. Can we go?
we have a podcast about drinking. We don't drink enough.
No,
We
but
really need
I
to-
only drink for the pod lately. I've been trying to cut back.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm the better.
Not
I'm
me.
the best of the three hosts.
Yeah.
I was drunk last night.
You bet you slept great.
Not joking.
I'm gonna sleep so good. I mean, I miss
Thank you.
drunk
Oh my
sleeping.
God.
I had to test out all these drinks first.
That's the hardest part of not drinking is sleeping sober.
I'm doing user research.
Like you tell
Yeah,
me.
right. It's for work, okay?
Oh God. And if I wanted to amend that and drink at a fictional bar, if I wanted to go high end, right, not the Alibi Room, Bar Obi-Wan from the opening of Temple of Doom. Horrible movie, amazing opening. George Lucas.
Is that the one that's like somewhere in Asia where
Yeah.
he meets
Yep.
what's this guy's name?
What I forget.
The kid.
He's at the.
Oh,
he's
oh,
at
short
the,
round.
He's at
Short
the. He's at
round.
the.
The den, the opium den that becomes like a bar.
Yeah.
It's like a dance show. At the
Yeah,
same
it's
time.
a dance show. It's the opening of Temple of Doom.
You can tell that movie was made under the influence of a lot of cocaine.
Yeah,
As opposed to the other
and
movies.
surprisingly, the main blonde actress, Steven Spielberg even admits that she was a terrible actress, but he married her, and they're still together. He said the only good thing that came out of Temple of Doom is I met the love of my life,
Yeah.
and he admits he truly believes this is his worst movie, and I'm likely to agree with him. I think Temple of Doom is worse than Crystal Skull. But
We've said that before.
Yeah, I mean I've said that. You haven't. You guys don't agree.
Personally, Temple of Doom was one of the first Indiana Jones movies I watched, and it encouraged me to watch the rest of them.
As a child, I loved Temple of Doom.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was the coolest thing in the entire world.
I like the first one a lot more. But Club Obi-Wan is what they called it because George Lucas was a producer on Indiana Jones. You know, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, if I'm not getting too into it, had a rivalry where like even to the point where like Star Tours opened up at Disney because George Lucas had a deal with Disney, and like the Indiana Jones ride opened at Disneyland in California. And then like when Steven Spielberg got hired by Universal, he was Universal's creative consultant for their theme park rides. He opened up the Jaws ride, the E.T. ride, and actually in the Back to the Future ride, there's a record of them walking out, and George Lucas with his head in his hands, and Steven Spielberg is smiling because like they had such a rivalry, like they wanted their own brands to win. Indiana Jones is the one brand they shared, and so he called the Club Obi-Wan because it sounded, quote unquote, how do I say this? Pacific. Asian.
Oh.
Well, Club Obi-Wan is, you know who Obi-Wan is, Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he called the Club Obi-Wan.
You mean
'cause
Ben?
Yeah, Ben Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi?
Yeah, that guy. Actually, they never called him Obi-Wan.
I know old. No. That's the line from
Yeah,
the movie
but
where he goes, well, you mean Ben?
But wait, is he called
uncle.
Obi-Wan in the original trilogy? I forget.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, cool. I thought he was only called Ben Kenobi in the original.
No. So in the original, like the recording that she does, "Help me, Obi-Wan, you're Amaro."
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So they call it Club Obi-Wan, and it looks really fucking cool. Like I bet they have really cool, like unique shots there. And so that's my second pick.
Oh yeah, they probably got some weirdly kind of problematic nowadays, kind of
Yeah.
Asian-y themed drinks.
I mean, Asian-y is problematic, but I think you and I would
well,
go
that's
there.
the point is that it's like it's supposed to be problematic. Like that's like they like Steven Spielberg in the 80s probably thought this is a great name. I can call it the Dragonfire. And like nowadays we'd listen to it and be like, ooh,
yeah, like
I don't know if we can do
fan
that.
fortune cookie.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
like the ding 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 ding.
Basically everything in that movie. I think if we watched it again, we'd be like, you can't do that.
I will tell you, you and I would go there and we'd vomit.
Well, maybe.
We would drink a lot.
I'm excited.
I mean, that's my second pick.
Yeah.
Maxine, or Taylor?
Firefly. You guys watch Firefly?
Absolutely.
I've actually never seen Firefly.
Oh my god.
You're a loser.
And that's Josh Whedon stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. It's the best single season of television. End of story.
I'm gonna rewatch it just because you said that.
Yeah, it's really good. There's the one where they go to the town that Jane saved.
Yep. Oh, I love that episode.
And they're singing the folk songs, and they're drinking the Mutter's Milk, which is basically like a proto beer. And I just think that would be really cool. It's dirty as hell. They basically have two things, either top shelf whiskey or just this stuff called Mutter's Milk.
It's like this bacterial beast.
Yeah, I just think it'd be really cool to do.
What
It'd
about-
be a cool thing to do.
Yeah, I'd be into it. Max, what do you think? You got another one?
Other bars?
Yeah.
Of course. Well, I talked about John Wick's bar, all the bars from Casino Royale, and then
The one in Macau would be my favorite one. And I think that's in Skyfall.
Skyfall. You're right.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like the Komodo dragons.
Yeah, they take a
killing the
boat.
guy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really cool.
That's cooler
Yeah.
than the
But
poker bar.
fuck those guys who own that place.
What about Dusk Till Dawn? Did you see that?
Is that the one with the vampires?
The vampires. As long as you get out early enough, I feel like you're fine.
I mean, if you like feet, it's a great bar.
Oh, because he's a pervert.
Yeah,
And he loves
so
the
for
feet.
those who
I guess
haven't
no, we're a sex positive show here.
Yeah, but
and
for those, I mean,
you liking feet is fine.
I'm very anti foot fetish, but and anyone who knows me knows that about me. I think that they are scum. No, I'm kidding. I just love having like a really extreme opinion about foot fetish because it's mostly harmless and it's just very fun for me to have. But no, in reality, there is a scene in From Dusk Till Dawn where Salma Hayek pours tequila down her knee and it rolls off her feet and through her toes into Quentin Tarantino's mouth on film.
And-
That's incredible.
And he went back and watched that on loop for about 4 hours, probably.
I mean, didn't we all?
Selma Hayek's still
Selma Hayek
so
is
hot.
beautiful.
I mean, if I could say anything, this is not really like a bar, but I like to go to the restaurant in Pulp Fiction where they dance.
Oh,
wonder-
yeah. Get the
oh,
$9 milkshake.
Yeah.
That didn't have bourbon in it, though.
It's a goddamn good milkshake.
There's a bar, there's a restaurant like that in Disney. It was like a drive-in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's any restaurant I want to go to wherever they kill people in The Godfather. The pasta looks great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any
Dude,
place
if
that
I was
somebody gets
sitting-
whacked in The Godfather looks delicious.
They sit me down for dinner and there's a bucket of oranges. I'm going to freak the fuck out. You know what I'm referring to?
Yes.
No, what is it?
Oh, so in The Godfather, there's a subliminal message that every time there's an orange in the scene, somebody dies.
Oh, okay.
So every time you see an orange in the scene, like oranges or a orange stand, somebody's going to die.
Yeah, you're fucked. If someone's eating an orange, they're done. If there's oranges on the table, if oranges spill off the cart, like it's basically like the Jaws theme for The Godfather. So I did want to talk about one thing. You know, like we are talking about fictional bars we'd like to go to. There are some fictional bars you can go to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, depending on how much you want to say fictional, non-fictional, you know, like for example, like one of the ones I wanted to say but I really can't was like Moe's Tavern from The Simpsons because I like to go get drunk among delinquents, right? But in reality, there is a Moe's Tavern.
At Universal?
There's two, yeah. There's one in Hollywood. Actually, no. I think there's three. There might be one in Singapore or Japan. There's two in the United States. There's one in California, one in Orlando. I've been to the one in Orlando. I've walked past the one in California. The one in Orlando, Universal Orlando has their own brewery. It's an independent brewery. They just pay to make them certain specific beers that taste like what they want them to taste like.
That's so cool.
Oh, it's craft beer.
Yeah.
It's literally craft. Like it's high end craft beer. And Duff beer, they have three Duffs. They have Duff Dry, Duff Reg. This is at Moe's Tavern and any bar in the Simpsons universe of Universal, right? And I think Taylor, I don't know if you've been there, but Max and I have been there. We've drank Duff beer. Duff beer, it's supposed to taste like an everyman beer. It's kind of like a high end Michelob Ultra. It tastes like a craft Michelob Ultra. Like it tastes like it's if beer was a flavor, beer flavored beer.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite beer because it's like high end, but it's also just tastes like beer, which I love. There's Duff Dry, which is a little bit richer. I think it's more like a Sam Adams or an Oktoberfest. There is a Duff Oktoberfest they do in the fall. I haven't had it yet, so I can't speak to it. There's a Duff,
But you will.
Yes, there's a Duff Light, which is more like a Hefeweizen, has like a banana and clove and citrus flavor to it. And then beyond that, there are more fictional bars. Can I go on?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to comment and say how much I love that, because one of my complaints always when you go to a place like this, like a theme park, is that you'll have different areas, they're differently themed, but you get the same food, the same drinks. The fact that they
Chicken fingers?
they do, yeah, exactly.
Well-
you can go to these different areas and get the beer that's specifically made for that area. I fucking love
Oh,
that.
Universal's crazy, and this is not a plug, but Universal Springfield, Universal, the Simpsons Land, they invented a lot of stuff like the Clogger at Krusty Burger. They have a Krusty Burger there, obviously, because why not? The Krusty Burger, they were going to do American cheese on their cheeseburger, and they invented a cheese sauce because they thought it was more gross and disgusting. But it's like an artisanal cheese sauce, but it's great for the texture of the burger. Like they do so many things that are like bespoke to that world. And to even take it further, they did Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is like an award-winning theme park. They have true like European foods there. They have like Toad in the Hole and the English breakfast and fried tomato and leek. Like the sauteed tomato and leek for breakfast. Like they have that shit that bangers and mash that you wouldn't normally have. And brings me to my next point is that they have both the Leaky Cauldron and the Hogshead Pub, and they have craft beers that are invented for that. But they have Hogshead Ale, which is very similar to a Sam Adams and another richer beer. There's Dragon Scale, which is an IPA, very similar to like a resin or like the Bengali by 6 Point. And then they have one more. I forget what it is. People are probably screaming at their fucking microphones. I don't care.
Their
can't name it.
radios.
But yeah, they have at least
They're usually
they have at
listening
least
radio.
2 to 3 Harry Potter beers. They have 3 Simpsons beers when it's not Oktoberfest. Like those are some good ones. I had one more bar.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing about the Harry Potter stuff, which is that that whole place, absolutely incredible. I didn't realize that the beers were, like I knew that they were brewed separately, but I didn't know that they were kind of like that exclusive, which is really cool.
You can't get them anywhere else.
And talking about people who are screaming at their mics right now, probably going, what about butterbeer? That is not beer. That is cream soda with cream on it, and it's delicious. But come on, man. That's
It's their own
doesn't
patented
count.
butterscotch mix.
I disagree.
The problem is that Universal apparently wanted the cream soda, the marshmallow fluff, to be able to be omitted because it had gluten in it, and they wanted it to be a gluten-free option. And J.K. Rowling's like, nope, butterbeer is frothy. They have to put it on.
I love her. She's great.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not gluten-free, fuck it.
Turns out the butterbeer was gay all along.
J.K. Rowling hates the gluten-free people. No, but like, I like butterbeer a lot. I like the hot butterbeer, which is only available from September to January at Universal. It's very delicious. It's very much like a Starbucks latte, hot latte. It's really good. Trying to think, there's one more bar that I wanted to name. There is an Indiana Jones themed bar in Disney in Orlando called Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, and it's named after the pilot that rescues him in the first one.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of the bar is that Jock is like a world traveler who invests his retirement money into a bar in Orlando. And it takes place when you walk in, it's the 1930s. There's no air conditioning, and everything is made to look like it does in the Indiana Jones universe in the 30s and 40s. But a lot of the drinks are named after Indy, his father, the exploits of the thing. And it's actually a pretty good bar. Like, it's not too bad. Like, for the Orlando area, it's probably one of the better bars.
To our listeners, if there are any bars that you want to go to that we didn't mention, let us know. Tweet us. Tell us what we didn't talk
Wait,
about.
tweet us at what?
Tweet us at the Recipe Boys. Boys being spelled BOYZ.
Not at Hey There Taylor.
No.
Not this time.
What is your Twitter handle, Taylor?
It's not Hey There Taylor, so
What
I'm
is
very
it?
happy about that.
7-3.
No. Wait, don't
Can
cut
you
that
say it?
out.
Come on, for real.
No.
For the pod.
You'll see me commenting on things on the Twitter, and
Yeah, but
therefore that's how you. If you want to find me, you
yeah.
can find me that way.
If we missed any drinks or bars we should, miss any movie bars we didn't talk about today, tweet us.
You're like that girlfriend, like, you know what you did. I'm not going to tell you what you did.
Oh, I
You
didn't
know
know
what you
anything.
Were you
Yeah.
crossing your arms? Amazing. And so, segueing off of bars, one of our topics today is reboots, and Taylor was kind enough to reboot the Aperol Spritz.
Yeah. The spritz in general. This is something that I came up with based on availability of liquor. We're using Amaro del Etna, which is another aperitif wine. This one's from Sicily, and it's definitely a bit more medicinal. It's not quite as sugary, but I think it adds a lot of complexity to the cocktail. And this is just kind of ad hoc. The three of us kind of work together to come up with something cool here. It doesn't have a name yet. What's
in it?
It's so it's Amaro del Etna, 1 measure of Amaro del Etna, 1 of bourbon, 2 of Prosecco, and then healthy amount of lemon. So both, a little juice in there as well as a nice piece of
you said
lemon.
there's Amaro in it.
Yeah, it's Amaro.
That gives me an idea because
Amaro del Etna.
Yeah, so it makes me want to call this drink the Tomorrow.
That's clever.
The Tomorrow cocktail.
Yeah,
It's after midnight.
The Tomorrow Spritz.
It's tomorrow.
It's Tomorrow.
So tomorrow, let's try it.
Okay, cheers.
I hear that clinking.
cling.
That's deadly.
It's deadly, yeah. Well, the extra, so the one of the big differences here is that it's got actual hard liquor in it.
Dude, you could drink this all night. I now might have a newfound respect for
Spritzes.
for digestives because I realize now that the bitterness helps make boozier drinks more palatable.
Right.
But I mean, I haven't had that in my history. My experience has been they made it worse. But this is heavy, but it's really refreshing. I really encourage if there's any drink that we've made that's not an official drink that you can order out anywhere. This is the first drink I have to say you have to stop and make. And the measurements I feel like are kind of like 2-1-1. I think is what you said. 2-1-1 with a spritz of lemon.
2-1-1, yeah.
Yeah, with a spritz of lemon. That sounds pretty perfect. Anyone can kind of eyeball this drink and make it themselves, and I think they'd have a pretty accurate representation of what we're tasting.
And you know what? And if you want to experiment with it, let us know. Tell us your reboot for the Aperol Spritz and
Get it on our menus.
get it on.
Yeah.
We'll try it out.
But speaking of reboots, one of the topics today is basic movie reboots. And there's a couple of recent Disney announcements of movies they're going to reboot, some timeless classics we want to talk about. And also, I really want to get it off my chest
We're going to talk about Lion King.
shortly, a little bit. I bring it up at least once, and I want to close that deal.
There's actually a whole podcast worth of content of just Max talking about
Yeah,
this
but we
movie,
haven't
so-
seen it, so this is where it's going to be.
Yeah. So, no, I want to hear. I'd like you to.
Go ahead, Max.
Okay.
Take it away.
The thing is, you saw Aladdin.
Yeah.
It was great. They've already greenlit a sequel.
No, they're discussing a sequel. Let's not misrepresent
It's going to
our
get
audience.
made.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I would
get
like to
made.
see a sequel that's not based on the direct-to-DVD
Disney's good
movies.
at printing money. Okay.
Yeah, but that universe to me warrants a sequel. They did a
Okay.
great job.
So Lion King, if you don't compare it to the original, it's pretty good. If it's a standalone movie, it's pretty good. Now, when they were making this film, Jon Favreau was like, "We want to do crazy, realistic stuff. We want this to blend into the landscape of Africa, all this stuff." Now, there's one example I can give you in movies that make people love them. It's how you emotionally connect to characters, to see them in turmoil. In the original Lion King, when Mufasa dies and Simba is under his paw, like basically crying, you feel emotionally with that because you can relate to him on a level, but you don't know why you relate to him. I'll tell you why in a second. Take my cat Dom, for example. There's a picture of him on my phone. And
Handsome.
He's a very handsome cat. But when you look at this cat, I want you to tell me. I'm going to show it to my co-host here. What emotion is Dom expressing?
Superiority.
Superiority. What do you get? What do you get out of this, Lex?
It's a cat.
It's a cat. Exactly. Truly, this is he's in a photo box behind something. He's kind of distressed because I put him in there. He wants out, but you can't tell. The thing is, Lion King is so realistic. We can't relate emotionally to it because they're fucking cats.
Yeah. We're going to get a lot of people calling in saying, my cat, I can tell.
When he's sad,
Yeah.
he's your
but it's
cat.
different. But it's different. In the Lion King, I didn't see it, right? And so I'm speaking from, you know your cat. You know what you're doing to the cat. You know the context of the situation. The movie is only going to give you the context of the 2-hour runtime. They're not going to give you all the shit outside. Like, I know when I make rice, my cat goes crazy because he loves rice, right? Or I know when I eat a sandwich, my cat wants a sandwich, right? Personally, this just reaffirms my opinion that Aladdin's a better movie than Lion King. And I'm talking about the animated version.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this is a. I thought this was a hostile opinion because I've been getting a lot of flack for it when I was growing up. When I was a kid, I grew up in '91. The Lion came out in '92. Yeah, Aladdin came out in '92. Little Mermaid came out in '89. Lion King came out in '94. Apparently, The Lion King was the first feature film that my parents took me to see in a theater where I was a toddler. They were those adults who put a baby in the theater. Apparently, my brother and I didn't cry. Twin boys, we didn't cry one bit. We loved that fucking movie.
Even when...
No, we were babies. We were babies. We just liked colors.
Yeah.
We just wanted colors on the screen.
There's plenty of them there.
Yeah,
Lion King as a film was monumental.
Yeah. So they needed to, they said that there was so much pressure on them to take their kids to see Lion King, they had no choice. And it became our nap time movie. Where like every time the twins wanted to nap, they put the Lion King on and we just napped. And most time I guess it was when Mufasa died and we woke up around Hakuna Matata and we're fine. Or we woke up around like a whim away. But either way, I will tell you, when I gained agency, I burned the fuck out of Aladdin.
Yeah.
My VHS of Aladdin does not play anymore. It is literally TV static because you can literally strip out a VHS tape recording by watching it too many times.
And this is actually going to be, I totally agree with you. I saw Aladdin in the theaters and I got to say,
old.
I know, I'm much older than you. I was obsessed after that. Like
with Jasmine or just Aladdin?
No. I wanted to be Aladdin. I wanted to be. I loved everything about it.
Robin Williams, playing the genie.
Incredible.
I love Jasmine.
But the thing that was kind of interesting to me, and I don't know, you make of it what you will, was that this was the first kind of one of these Disney movies where this was like the male protagonist.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Which really spoke to me as a kid. Or I was just like, oh my god, that's like me. Like I'm the street rat, and I'm.
You are a street rat.
I know. Yeah.
Look at you, your cutoff shirt.
You are wearing kind of a tunic right now.
It's hot
it's
in
blue.
here.
It's blue, but
yeah.
no. But if I have a 6-pack come October, I am Aladdin probably.
Okay, perfect.
I promise you.
Yeah, so Lion King, Aladdin. I have my qualms with Lion King. You can make your own opinion on it. It doesn't matter. But what we want to talk about is the future of reboots. So Disney is releasing Disney Plus, and I read some stuff. They're releasing a bunch of classic movies, remaking them for Disney Plus. They're not even theatrical releases. Like Lion King and Aladdin, they're big budget theatrical releases. They're huge. But there's a whole list of movies that Disney's remaking.
So first, do we have to talk about Disney reboots or any reboot in general?
So Disney Plus is rebooting a bunch of classic Disney movies, and now don't get me wrong. This is not generally just Disney. There's obviously other reboots out there that we have opinions on that aren't Disney properties, but Disney is making a lot of them. That's why I said Disney. Now, off the top of my head, there's a few Disney movies that are going to come out on Disney Plus, rebooted in the next few years. It'll be Home Alone, Nine at the Museum, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and Cheaper by the Dozen. There's a few more, but that's the ones off the top of my head. And I do have some kind of questions about these. Number one question is like, why is Disney doing this? Why are they taking like timeless classics? Is it a cash grab? What is it?
He was Lex was doing the money sign with his fingers while he was reading that.
I mean, if you look at the market, people go to the movies less and less. People buy streaming services more and more. The population of streaming services is getting bigger, and the population of people who go to the movies every Friday and Saturday is going lower. So like, you want to say these are direct-to-DVD or direct-to-video releases. They're giving them the budgets of a mid-level box office release.
Like 40, 50 million?
Yeah, 40. These are taking the taco. These are non-competes with their actual like summer weekend and winter weekend and fall weekend, like Thanksgiving weekend releases. This is an interesting strategy. This is them dominating the market year round without having to pay distributors.
That's I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, because think about it. Lady and the Tramp, they're getting Tessa Thompson and Justin Theroux, and I think Kenan Thompson, not related, obviously Kenan and Kel, but they have a whole list of like celebrity who's for the Lady and the Tramp, right? And maybe it's not Kenan Thompson, maybe I'm misconstruing it, but they have a whole list of who's going to be in this movie. They're paying big bucks for it. They're going to spend 30 to 40 million, and they're going to put it right on your fucking TV screens.
Is it also like a way to get new people onto their service?
I mean, it is. I mean, subscription is definitely the rule of the day. But think about this: you have a family who goes to the movies once a month. They pay $9 a person or $11 a person, right, to go to the movies, right? And the distributor takes 70% of that. Disney would rather you just buy their streaming services. They pay the distributor nothing, and you pay the $9 a month and watch that one movie.
I mean, after watching, like, we talked about The Boys last week, like, the production value of The Boys is out of this world. It looks so good.
It's a better model. It's a better model.
If they can
Because
make
if
these
no
movies look this good.
Think about this, right? You make a movie in the box office, you hope someone sees it and pays tickets to see it. And you hope you get a percentage of that, right? Nowadays, you just make your own streaming service and hope people will pay. If you watch a couple movies a month, you made your money back, right? If they watch no movies, it's like a gym membership. If you watch no movies, you still make money.
Right. And they kind of, I want to kind of base some of this because Home Alone is a huge movie from our history. Like that, they actually tried to reboot Home Alone at one point. Not necessarily reboot, but make a new one. Like it was like Home Alone 3, and it was terrible. It was worthless.
I didn't see it. Did you see it, Taylor?
Home Alone 3?
Yeah, I know of it. It was just
shitty.
like a direct to DVD movie.
It was really shitty.
They weren't lost in New York.
But like, what movies off the top of your head shouldn't get remade?
Oh wow, that's a huge question.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, Back to the Future probably.
I mean, but I do believe if someone like an auteur, like Quentin or Taika, had a perspective on like a time travel movie and they wanted to brand it Back to the Future and it wasn't with, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, I let them do it.
So here's my feeling is that we already have an analog to Back to the Future in the sense that it's that relationship between Marty and
Rick and Morty.
And that's based on basically like, it's like weird fan fiction.
Here's a franchise that shouldn't be rebooted. Ghostbusters.
I was about to talk about that.
Womp, womp, womp.
Well, I mean, I feel very strongly that Ghostbusters Reboot would have been better if it was a sequel. Give me those same actors, the same cast, and just put it in the same universe. They would have made double the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like, are you excited for the new Ghostbusters that's getting made?
Absolutely.
Are you excited because the last one failed?
No, I'm mad.
Overall mad.
No, I'm probably like the biggest Ghostbusters fan that I know.
Fucking A.
You wanna go? We should have a Ghostbusters trivia.
We can do that. We can do that.
You know what? I think I get something because I was a fan earlier than you, but I am older than you.
Yeah. So if it doesn't,
we can closet that discussion.
Well,
Yeah.
The reason I mentioned it is because I think that they should have rebooted or made a third Ghostbusters film in 2016 instead of making a reboot. That's my rule for reboots is that if you can't satisfy the original audience, you're failing.
You know what? If it was a separate movie, it would actually be pretty good.
Was it actually a good movie?
No, I think that if you looked at it as a separate thing, it would be like a cool movie to watch during the summer. But the fact that it had the Ghostbuster fandom decrying it from the word go, it's hard not to look at it through that lens.
My thing is like what we're talking about, what shouldn't get remade. Like I don't think you can remake Home Alone. Like
why not?
I don't know. It's just like
Home Alone's a shitty movie to begin with.
It's not. Home Alone 2 and stuff.
Home Alone 1 and 2 are both bad movies.
You are wrong.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's the end of that discussion.
Typical.
You are wrong.
Turn off his mic. Turn off his mic. Turn off his mic.
I'm turning his volume down.
Bye.
You've lost speaking privileges.
Sorry.
No. I mean, I think Home Alone is just it's one of those timeless films. It's my Back to the Future. It's like it's one of those films that you can't Home Alone 3 was not a third movie. It was kind of a reboot. It was a new kid. Same thing happens to him. It's technically a reboot. Yeah. And you can't do that more than once. How do you repeat this? How do you do the same problem with cell phones?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Like Mom, I'm by myself.
Exactly.
Sorry, honey. Let me get you on Find My iPhone.
Honestly, the reboot would have to be much darker because it would be like this kid who's out in the woods with no cell service, and it's like suddenly the realization that this is actually a very terrifying
situation. Or he
situation.
goes in the deep web and gets like a hitman.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on.
I mean, there's
here.
a lot of stuff like I feel like Night at the Museum. They just made those movies.
Yeah,
and there's a whole list of reboots I can read you really quick. Let me just go through this list. And these are Disney properties: Lilo and Stitch, Little Mermaid, Lady and the Tramp. Lex mentioned that. Cinderella, Cruella, an origin story. Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Sword in the Stone, Pinocchio, Night on Bald Mountain, The Jungle Book 2, which is a sequel, whatever. Maleficent 2, trailer's out, by the way. Actually looks pretty fucking awesome.
I really like the original too.
A movie called Rose Red, which is basically like the Snow White movie, or like I'm not sure if it's like an origin. I don't know what it is. It's just called Rose White or Rose Red for some reason. But they're clearly making a lot of stuff. But a off the wall question: what movies do you think should get remade?
Ooh. Well, so I think I mentioned this a few times, is that I'm real psyched about their, I mean, is it really a remake or is it just kind of doing it again? But Dune, classic, absolutely incredible science fiction kind of super. Yeah, Dune, I can't say it's being remade because it's, based on a book, and I don't know if that counts, but that's coming out. It's the same director of Arrival and Blade Runner 2046. What is it? Yeah. So I think it's going to be incredible. And it's one of my absolute favorite books of all time. So that one has to be remade because the one they made in the 80s is absolute garbage. One of my favorite movies, garbage movie.
Euro Trip should be remade.
Euro Trip?
Oh my God. Yeah. Skip Road Trip. Go right to Euro Trip.
That's right. Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know.
No, for real. I'm going to be honest. That was a joke. Waterworld.
Oh,
Waterworld.
That's a cursed property, though.
Yeah, but Waterworld was actually a good movie.
I agree.
It's a very watchable movie. Universal made a stunt show based on Waterworld with jet skis flying and planes landing and splash zones and people. They say
Which probably cost like $100,000 every time they did that stunt show.
It cost them a lot of money.
Yeah,
and they said that it cost them more in gasoline than any other ride and in any attraction. Said but it has so much high-end return that they kept it for 28 years, so they did pretty well. It makes me think that outside of the controversy of the director leaving and Kevin Costner having to direct it, I wonder if people care enough about that universe, because I'm not saying like they expand upon it.
It's going to happen to us real fucking soon.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just make a real one, I mean, I'm going to have anxiety the whole time, but I would love to see it.
The concept's cool.
Yeah.
Just this time on
the
production,
world building's amazing.
Yeah. Like there's a whole world about this. Like, Waterworld, as even watching as a kid, was so cool. But if you don't know backstory to the production, because they filmed like 10 miles out in the ocean sometimes, when they just drove back on their jet skis and all their stuff. A guy got left behind because he ran out of gas and he died.
That's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. It's terrifying.
How did he die? He just drowned?
No, he ran out of gas and they left him. They didn't realize they left him.
They don't have walkie-talkies?
Not everybody. There's a whole production, and
I mean, nowadays everyone have a talkie.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has a cell phone.
So if they remake Waterworld, don't kill one of your production hands.
Yeah. And honestly, and this might be superstitious of me to say, but it's like, if you made a movie and someone died on the set, I kind of feel like it's a cursed movie. Don't make it again.
That happens more than often than you think.
I mean,
it doesn't really.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. People die during production of movies all the time.
That's why they have
Maybe we
stunt
shouldn't
doubles.
ever remake
I know what should be
movies
rebooted. I have one more, and this is my last one.
Yeah, good.
Actually, I have two. One is a joke. George of the Jungle.
Oh,
as long as it has Brendan Fraser in it, I'm on board.
I Slipped in the Shiny Yellow Rock. No, it's a great movie. George of the Jungle is a great movie. I just think that kids today would either love to see the original on Disney Plus or just make a second one that's like a shot-for-shot remake because it's hysterical.
1-to-1.
George,
Yeah,
George
1-to-1.
of the Jungle, strong as he can be.
That's right. For real, Haunted Mansion as a movie. It's a ride at Disney. It's a ride at Disney. The ride is much better than the movie. Eddie Murphy sucks. There was originally supposed to be a Haunted Mansion reboot directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Wow. Okay, you lost me, then you had me, but then you kind of lost me again because there's no fucking way that he's going to make that movie.
He came on stage on D23 talking about what he wants to do for that franchise.
Now, you know what my next comment's going to be.
What?
Guillermo del Toro talks a fucking huge game and delivers about 1% of it.
Name one movie he's done that's been a disappointment.
No. Not that it's a disappointment, that he says he's going to make movies and then he never does.
I feel like the studios kick him out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't get made.
I'll tell you a movie I want
Oscar award-winning director Guillermo del Toro.
He's fantastic.
A movie I want to see get rebooted is Casper.
Oh my God, yes! This is actual high five. I want you to save that in there. incredible.
But wait.
Christina Ricci, fucking Bill
You want her back?
Pullman.
You want her
There's
back?
so much potential with Casper.
Yes, I do. It's
Imagine-
so good. It's so
My
good.
thing is what they can do with movies now in a movie with Casper.
yeah.
You know, they only could do so much in that movie.
Buccaneers
They were
and
they were
Buried
they were
Gold.
they were limited by the technology of their time.
Which they did, I think, an incredible
They
job
did.
with
They did
it.
cool shit. But like what they do now,
Yeah.
this movie could be crazy.
They had a good mix of practical effects and the CGI stuff. And the CGI was of ghosts, so like it didn't matter if it wasn't the best CGI.
There's a Disney movie you didn't name that's getting rebooted, and I mentioned it on the first episode of our podcast. Do you remember what it is?
Mulan?
No. Atlantis. My favorite underrepresented Disney movie.
Atlantis is good.
Atlantis is amazing. It was done in the art style of Hellboy creator Mike Mignola. It's a great film. It got overtaken by Shrek that year because it was 2D and Shrek was 3D.
Shrek.
Yeah, and Shrek is great, but like, I mean, it didn't deserve Shrek to take over it.
Or Milo Thatch.
Yeah, Milo Thatch. They want Tom Holland to play Milo Thatch in a feature film. Yeah, get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, nailed it. That's a good
Get
cast
the fuck
right
out
there.
of town. If you make an Atlantis movie with Tom Holland, guess what? You have my money. And you know, to be honest, I'm not against reboots. Sometimes reboots are just as exciting or as interesting as the original. And I know I'm a sellout for saying that. But like in the beginning of Aladdin, they go through the whole town of Agrabah. And they show all the characters in silhouette and in the back, behind the back. I was getting goosebumps. And I realized I love that world. I loved that universe that they had created. I'm really into it. So if they do the same thing with Atlantis, they do the same thing with Lilo and Stitch, like I am so about it. Like I want to see what does Stitch look like in our universe in 3 dimensions.
It's like Sonic.
Yeah,
No. It's
beady
Disney.
little eyes.
No, it's Disney. You know what? They're gonna have a trailer. He looks awful, just like the genie did in Aladdin. And then in the movie, he's gonna look great.
That's the beauty of CGI.
So I know I say like fuck it, like Home Alone, don't reboot it, but at the same time, I don't give a shit.
Look at Iron Man. Iron Man, Hulk. If they made a Lilo and Stitch movie, it's a reboot, but it's a sequel, right? It's Lilo as an adult working for the Galactic Federation, and Stitch is her like it's one of us, one of them, like one alien, one human. I would watch the fuck out of that movie.
So one thing that I'm beginning to hear from this is that I think that we're all on board for reboots that are of properties that we don't think got a fair shake the first time around. Lilo and
Absolutely.
Stitch, maybe not the best example, but definitely Atlantis.
I mean, the Lilo concept is cool.
Casper, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, like it was a big thing.
Casper got
but-
2 sequels.
They suck though.
No, I don't even.
There's tons.
No,
Tarzan,
that's not the thing.
Tarzan 2.
They're all direct to
Lady and the
DVD.
Tramp 2.
Yeah. If you're gonna say that it got a
they had
sequel
like
back in
5
the
Lilo and
90s.
Stitch movies. They had tons of them.
Yeah. The point being that I think that we agree that if it didn't get a fair shake, we'd like to see it tried out again. And I'd be down for, it'd be a bit heady for a young crowd to be like, well, I don't remember the original Lilo and Stitch, and now it's live action, and they're in space, and they're basically the Green Lantern Corps.
Kids don't know what the Jungle Book is. They just saw the live action one.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, I get it that like Disney has to revamp their IP so young generations understand.
Right, they
what
gotta
they
sell
are.
the
They got
t-shirts
to
again.
resell all the Lion King toys.
Yeah.
Like they've been making these things for years. But my point
okay,
is
okay.
there's a
We know,
huge,
we know.
there's a giant IP invested.
Yes, absolutely.
They make all their money
Okay,
from
yeah, I
toys.
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
All they make way more money off toys. They want to keep selling Lion King toys.
Yep. Most retail space per capita.
I have one question before we wrap up this segment. Do you think it's a good idea for Disney to cut Mushu from Mulan in the new reboot?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Why
Why?
is that, Lex? Yeah, exactly.
No. Tell me why not. I talk a lot, so you tell me why.
Okay.
Because I fucking love Mushu.
Yeah, I just think that like from the trailers that I've seen, it seems like a very serious movie. I'm not getting the kind of comedic vibe that the original had, and I don't know how well it's going to be received by audience, but also that's not necessarily the Mulan I want to see.
Fair enough.
And also, there's no music, so that's just
for me,
killing me.
before you give us yours, I feel like that would be them cutting the genie from Aladdin.
Yeah, it's cutting the jokes,
You
the
know,
whole
like-
jokes.
For me, it's them cutting a boo out of Aladdin. You can do it. And also, the reason I say it is because historically...
Abu didn't have lines.
Understood. But the reason I say this is because I think the reason the reboots succeed is when they do their own thing. And Mulan is a historical story, has roots in Asian culture, has roots in Chinese culture. I think that they have a Chinese director who has a very clear vision. I think even if it doesn't succeed on being the best reboot of Disney's Mulan, it'll be a good movie of whatever it is that they want to go for, because Disney's not going to put good money after bad money. They're going to fucking, even if the movie like sucks, they're going to put $100 million into making it great in reshoots and all that shit. I don't think you need Mushu. I see the direction they're going for it with the trailer. I don't think he fits into that universe. I understand why the songs don't fit
it
into that
definitely
universe.
looks like he would be weird in
Yeah,
that
and
version.
I'm taking the negative opinion because I feel like whatever it is they have planned for us made sense to them.
Yeah.
And these are very risk-averse people.
All right. So from the outside perspective of a guy who watched all the originals, absolutely obsessed over them, a huge diehard Disney fan. I mean, Disney sing-alongs, like, to this day, son. To this day, I do every day. I've got several songs on the playlist. But none of this really seemed to be all that worthwhile for me. And it's not that I was against them. I didn't boycott them. I wasn't trying not to watch them. I just didn't see the point. Like, the originals are fantastic. Love the music. Love the whole thing. What's compelling me as an adult to do that?
If you had children, would you see them?
Exactly. I think if I had kids, I would be obsessed with bringing them. I mean, obsessed. I'd be very excited to bring my kids to go see Aladdin, go see Lion King,
And I would
go see
argue,
Little Mermaid.
I would argue these movies aren't for you. You know,
Right.
They're for
Exactly.
kids.
They're not for the fan who's already content about the originals. It's for the young crowd to get invested in this property.
Because I know my niece and my nephew have seen all these movies. My brother and his wife take them to all of them.
And what they think?
The kids love them.
Fucking
They
love
love
them.
every single one of them.
Of course they do.
They love big cats on screen.
Because they're Disney movies.
Correct.
Disney knows how to do big.
Okay, so that is, in our opinions, we got around the table a little bit on it, but, you know, reboots. There's a lot to it. But personally, for me, this is Max here. I say, fuck it, make everything.
Yeah.
Make it all. I don't care. Just fucking do it.
You know what? I say remake everything so that we can shit on the new one and love the original.
Yeah.
I said we should be open-minded to love the new one.
Yeah. We might. If it's better, then it's better.
We'll get there one day.
One day.
I want to thank everyone for listening so far. If you've been here since episode 1, we thank you.
If you haven't, you suck.
You suck.
Go
No,
back
no.
and listen to the originals.
If you haven't, yeah, just check it out.
You suck cocks and dicks.
Don't say that.
That's a hot tub time machine reference.
We like them. We like them. We want them to
we
tweet
love our audience.
tweet us better reboot ideas.
Yeah,
Shout out to the guy in Turkey.
Yeah.
Send us your screenplays.
Hey, we got
I want to read your screenplay.
Israel now too.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of different reboots. Like Lex just said, tweet us at the Recipe Boys, boys being spelled BOYZ, what reboot you would want to see and what thing you cannot reboot. What movie is just timeless and you can't touch it? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, get passionate. We're passionate. You should be passionate too.
Use all those characters I let you have on Twitter.
All of them.
All of them.
All L3500 on Taylor's page.
But listeners, thank you so much. Whatever you're doing on your commute, at work, whatever, make a good cocktail and cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's a great sign off. Bye.
Thank you.